Most people's life stories are lost forever, but yours doesn't have to be. So this afternoon we're interviewing Grace Lavelli from Milford, who has a fascinating life story to tell.
Okay, Barbara.
Fascinating. So Grace, tell me about where you were born and your early life story.
Okay. I was born right here in Milford, at Milford Hospital, when the hospital was just the size of a home.
Really?
It was very small. I mean, you look at Milford Regional Medical Center today, and we got this wonderful expansion going on. And I am very proud of it. I am the auxiliary treasurer. The Milford Regional Medical Center Auxiliary is a service that we provide the hospital, the community, and its patients, of course, by fundraising. And we have raised much money for the hospital in the past 9 years. The hospital is like one of my pet jobs that I do.
Where was it? Was the hospital located at the same spot it is?
The same spot, yeah. It was located on 140
and Route
on
6.
Prospect Street, and it was right in the front on Prospect Street for many years. 1903, I believe, was the first building at the Milford Hospital. Milford Regional Medical Center. We have to say that because that's what it is now.
Okay.
And right.
And so you were born there, and what type of other siblings did you have?
Oh, yes, I have a sister and two brothers. My mom and dad were raised in Milford also.
Really?
All their lives, yeah. My mom was born in Vermont and came to Milford at 3 years old, but my dad was born here and lived here all their lives, too.
Okay, what was your maiden name?
My maiden name was Ruggiero, Ruggiero.
Ruggiero, okay.
So many people mix us up with Ruggiero, but we are related. It's something to do with coming over through Ellis Island, the change of the name.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, how interesting.
Yes.
So you work for the, you don't work, you are treasurer for the hospital. What else do
the Milford Regional Medical Center Auxiliary?
Excuse me.
Yeah, we're a group of men and women who raise money to buy equipment for the hospital, for departments who have not made plans for certain items in their budget. So anything that we can help them with, within reason, we try to help them with. We've done a lot of things like recumbent chairs for the cardiac rehab. We did a warmette. That was one of our favorite things we did. You put warm blankets, when you go into the hospital and you're cold, there's a warmette. We were responsible for buying one of those for the Gannett Boa. We've done a number of projects for cardiac rehab. We have, right now we're in the project of buying boards for all the rooms, the new rooms in the new medical center. There's going to be whiteboards that they're going to put up in each room, which will give you information about the patient. So you go in and the patient will know who his nurse is, who his doctor is, the family will know who they are, what's going on with them, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a whiteboard in every room so that when you walk in, you have some information on your patient as a family member. And the patient himself knows what's going on, so that everyone has a board in their room. And we're buying those.
What a great idea.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're doing.
Anyone who's ever been to a facility, medical facility, would recognize the importance of that. That's great.
Yeah. Our main fundraiser is the Taste of the Towns. That's something we do every year. We've been doing it for 9 years. And we get 20 restaurants to share their food with our guests. And we have raised money, and that money, most of that money has gone towards the expansion of the hospital.
Okay.
And at this point, we were able to...
Now, when does that take place?
That takes place in September.
Okay.
Yeah. It takes
so people can contact the hospital if they're
Contact
interested.
me usually. I'm the ticket chairperson for that. Yeah, and you can contact me, and I will contact many people to join us.
Well, I can say I went last year and it's lovely. The food is great,
Right.
and you get a lot. It was a great fundraiser.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We were able to pay off our pledge of $50,000 for the expansion of the new building this year, and we're very proud of that. And I have a wonderful group of people we work with on the auxiliary.
Oh, that's great. And so I also know, tell me a little bit about your past, growing up in Milford and the other endeavors that I know that you've been involved
Yeah, right. I graduated from Milford High School, and I did go on to Boston to a business school. I've been in Milford almost all my life. I worked at Wellesley College for a year and came back to Milford. And I've been here since. I was a dental assistant. I've been credit manager up in Hopkinton. Ended up at Waters for 20 years in the research library. I was very happy there. For 20 years, it was a wonderful experience.
I've heard that's a wonderful place.
Yeah. I was very fortunate to work at Waters, I felt. And right now I'm retired and I'm really busy with the hospital, but I also am a garden club member.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about your garden club experiences.
Well, I've been in the garden club, for about 30 years at least, maybe more. And we've been busy. I mean, I've been president, I've had every office there was to have, and I was, just recently, I retired from special projects. I did the special projects in town. All the planters that you see on Main Street are done by the garden club members, and I coordinated that for many years.
They are very nice. Do you have any, are you a special arrangements? Have you ever developed?
No, we always just did our thing every spring. We'd pick out the flowers and figure out how many we needed for each container, and the ladies would go out and, we'd have a plan. And the ladies would go out and they'd take their section. We had all the islands in town. Right now, the Main Street Island is gone. But we did the islands in town, Draper Park.
Where was the Main Street Island?
There was an island right in the middle of Main Street, like the corner of Jefferson Street down.
Oh, okay.
They just took that out the past year or two.
Oh,
But we used
okay.
to have planters there. Now they're on the corner where the Dunkin' Donuts used to be. There's a couple on that corner.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but we planted and maintained those containers for many years. Right now, there's 2 new ladies who are the coordinators. But the ladies, I worked with all the ladies. I coordinated, but they worked hard. I had some real good help from members.
Coordinating is a challenging job.
Yes,
isn't
it was. Yeah, it was challenging. You had to make sure you had enough flowers for every pot, enough for the gardens at Draper, at the Draper Park, Draper Memorial, Calzone Park. They do. Maha Court. We had flowers for there, and the ladies all went out. We would all meet in one place, and we'd have all the flowers laid out. With help from my members, I didn't do it all myself, and they would all take off to their own project, and we'd get all the planting done on one night.
That's
It's
great.
usually done in May, the third Monday in May. We have our planting.
Well, if people wanted to volunteer, since you're not coordinating now, who would they contact?
Okay. Candia Cuddy, and oh my God, what's her name?
That's okay. Just one name.
Yeah, Candia Cuddy's one.
And are they listed in the,
They
can
should
they
be-
find them online?
They should be online. Yeah, you could list them online. I'm sure they're in the telephone book. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have their numbers offhand, but
Okay, and I know you brought some pictures
Yes, I
of some
did.
of your,
I brought some pictures of my ladies planting. This is one of our projects. This is my friend Maria, who's always there to help me. She's been there from
oh,
day
that's
one.
pretty. That's nice, it's in color.
Yeah, they're in color. This is one of me at the town hall. The town hall are the planters that I maintain myself, and I am still maintaining them.
Oh, that's,
In order to do some of these projects for the garden club, we raise money through the Christmas Gallery of Arts and Crafts. You see that advertised now.
Yes.
The Boy Scouts have taken it over.
Oh, they have?
Yes, but we did it from 1989 until when my granddaughter was 13 years old. So we started in '93. We did it for 13 years up at the high school. And these are some of the pictures we had. This is us putting up our signs at the craft fair.
oh,
We were able to raise over $20,000 over the years.
Really?
The only way we could tell how many people actually came into the building for the craft fair was to charge them $1. So we charged $1 a head, and we decided that we would give that dollar, that amount, to the charities in town. So we gave to the Salvation Army, the Pantry, and the St. Agnes Guild. And every year we'd go to the Milford Daily News and present the money to the general manager at the Daily News. And my ladies again would come with me. That's a picture of the general manager accepting our check for, I don't know how much it was there, maybe $1,200 there.
wow.
Here's another one for $1,800 with the advertising director accepting our check. That's Richard Ray, very dear friend of mine, and the advertising director at Milford Daily News. And we would just have a picture every year. I mean, I could show you all of them, and we gave around $20,000 over the 13 years that we ran the craft fair. So again, I didn't do that by myself. I always did it with help. I coordinated it, but I did not do it myself. I always want to give the ladies in the garden club recognition.
Oh, of course. Yeah, nothing can be done by one person.
No, that's
so
for sure.
that's great. But to coordinate it is, as I said before, it's a challenge, a
Yes.
real challenge.
Yeah, it is. It's a
So-
lot of work, but
Now I know that you mentioned granddaughter. How many children do you have?
I have a daughter, Rebecca, and she works for the town of Milford in the assessor's office. She's a data collector for the assessor's office, and I have two granddaughters. Amanda's 24 and Amy's 21.
Really?
Amanda's through college, and Amy is going to school at the time. And I have a step-granddaughter who I'm very proud of also, Bonnie, who's going for her master's degree in social work. Yeah.
And do they live here in Milford? Or they?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, they are in Milford, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice that you mentioned. I didn't get to ask your husband about his own children, but it was a fascinating story about his books. I wanted to ask you too about Milford, the town of Milford, the changes since you've lived here all your life, about the changes that you've seen, and
It was wonderful. Main Street on Thursday night, Friday night was wonderful. The kids today would never believe it. We had all kinds of stores. The stores were open until 9 o'clock on Thursday night and Friday night. And we had clothing stores, we had men's store, we had Hogan's Menwear, we had Ring & Welsh, we had women's store, we had Risebergs, we had Cooney's, we had wonderful stores in town, and Main Street was just bustling with people. It was a fun time. It really was.
And when did that change to where Main Street became
I think maybe the past 20 years.
In 20 years?
Yeah, I'd say. I was around in the 50s. You know, I worked at Cahill's. That was my very first job. I worked there. It was a stationery store.
Oh, a stationery store?
I started there at 14 years old and worked right through school, and even went back after I had my daughter for part-time. It was a wonderful store that, you know, is no longer also. But Main Street was just a lot of fun. It was fun, and we had shopping. We shopped on Main Street. You know, we didn't go to the mall, or we didn't have a mall.
Was that because all of this changed because of the mills moving out of here, or is it?
Well, the mills, I believe, yeah, but the mills moved out of here, but then we got the big shopping centers. You know, once the shopping centers once we got the shopping centers, the small stores couldn't make it.
Right.
You know, just like your small grocery stores. We had grocery stores all over Milford, you know, independent markets. And, you know, we've lost them, and we knew them personally. You know, we knew the owners personally. And, you know, that's no longer.
Are there any of them left in Milford?
Aruba's Market, of course, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I think Babe started back in late 50s. Yeah, and he's with us.
Oh,
And
yes.
There's a couple of markets on Purchase Street, on Dilla Street. There are a couple left, but there were many, you know.
Many.
There were Gloria Chain, and there was so many. Kennedy's Butter. They say Kennedy's store was, we did butter there. We had Terosians.
Homemade butter?
Butter, yeah. We had the Terosians fruit stand. I'm really plugging all of them now. Right on Main Street, they would have their racks out on Main Street with their apples and peppers and tomatoes and
Really?
peaches. Yeah, there was a whole rack out right where the Music Nook, near the Music Nook.
Oh, where the Music Nook
It
is
used
now?
to be, yeah, well, there's a new one now. But they'd have their racks out, and there'd be bushels, and people would just go up to Mr. Terosian and buy fresh vegetables right off the counter on Main Street.
Oh,
Out in the open, yeah, like an open market.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, different. It's
That's very
yes.
different, yes. And so other than the closing of downtown and that change, do you see other change? What else do you see as a major change in Milford?
Traffic. Traffic.
Is there going to be a solution to
I
that?
don't think we're ever going to have a solution to that. They have all kinds of ideas, I guess, but you know, that's Milford. But you know, we're a pass-through. You know, people just going through town. I mean, just my neighborhood alone. I live up on Ivy Lane, and they come down. I started out on Ivy Lane. It was a dead-end street. We were the first house on Ivy Lane, and we thought, oh, this is beautiful. You know, well, now it goes all the way up to the top of the hill. You can connect to Congress Street, and they come around up Congress Street and down around, and they go out to 495 down my street. So in the morning, there's so many cars just going by my house to get to 495, and coming home at night. So it ended up a highway instead of a lane. It's called Ivy Lane.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a big change. That's something that's really a big change for us. You know, when we built back in 1961, I believe it was, we thought, well, this is going to be great. You know, there were like 3 houses on the street and all woods, and then it just grew. Yeah.
Right. Well, Milford is still growing. There's
Oh, it
still lots
certainly
of
is,
the new place over on 85. I think that's part of Milford.
Walden Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We're giving a plug to all these places, aren't we?
Yeah. It's nice though that Milford is growing.
Yes.
So, well, in concluding, is there what do you feel, since you're so tied in with Milford Medical Center? What do you feel is the next best improvement, other than the whiteboards that you people will be working
at
on?
the medical center. Well, right now we are planning our Taste of the Towns, and we will plan to donate the money to another project to do with the medical center, something to do with what's happening around us. We, as a group, are going to have a garden out front. That was our donation. Our pledge will get us this beautiful garden at the entrance of the hospital, and that it's all done by the auxiliary. The money was raised by the auxiliary.
Okay. When will the building be? When are they planning the completion of the
Well,
new?
they're talking about, I guess they will get the keys in September. That's really something you should be talking to Martin Richmond about.
Okay.
But I believe, from what I'm hearing and reading, we should be open maybe late fall, Christmas.
Okay. Well, thank you. It's been lovely interviewing you tonight. I hope that you continue with all your great work with the hospital.
Well, I plan to for another couple of years anyway.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.